Hello, nice to meet you. My name is JJ. Can you please tell me your full name? What can I call you? Alright, so in this first part, I'm going to ask you some general questions about yourself. Let's first of all talk about what you do. What do you do? Do you work or study? Why did you choose your job or your course? What do you dislike about your job or your course? Okay, so can you tell me the first day of work or first day of your school? Okay, now let's talk about staying up late. So, do you often stay up late? Did you stay up late when you were a kid? What do you usually do when you stay up late? What does it feel like the next morning if you stay up late? Okay, now we're going to talk about names. Does your name have any special meaning? How would you choose names for your next generation? Are there any differences between how people in your country name their children now and in the past? Alright, so let's move on to the second part of the test. So here I'm going to give you a topic and I would like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. But before you talk, you will have 1 minute to prepare and think about what you're going to say. And you can make notes if you wish. Okay, so here is the cue card question. Describe a time when you saw a lot of plastic waste. Can you start speaking now, please? Alright, so in this part, I'm going to ask you more general questions related to your topic. So the first question is, do you think we should use plastic products? How can we reduce our use of plastic? What kinds of plastic waste are often seen in your country? Why do people like to use plastic products? All right, so that's it. Good work, guys. So now I will show you my band score 8 answers to all these questions. What do you do? Do you work or study? Well, I work. I work as an accountant. I've been doing this job for about 8 years now. So I'm responsible for a variety of finance related tasks. It means I do lots of paperwork and usually work long hours in front of the computer. And I like my job, which is quite rewarding. Why did you choose to do this job? Well, I guess I chose to become an accountant because, well, there's no particular reason actually. This is what I studied in college. I majored in accounting. So after I graduated, I only looked for an accounting position. What do you dislike about your job? Overall, I'm satisfied with my current job, but sometimes I have too much work to do and I have to work overtime as well, which is quite overwhelming. Tell me about the first day of work or school. Well, I remember that I was quite nervous because, it was my first day of work. But my boss kindly gave me a tour of the office and he also explained how things work and what tasks I need to do, stuff like that. So, yeah, it went great. Do you often stay up late? Not very often, but sometimes I stay up late watching Netflix. Well, I'm so into Korean documentary these days. there's something that the more you know, the more it gets intriguing. I mean, it's very addictive. So because of that, I sometimes stay up late. Did you stay up late when you were a kid? Not really. I've been an early bird type of person since I was little. So the only time I stayed up late was when I stayed over at my friend's place, which happened like once or twice a year. What do you usually do when you stay up late? Well, as I said earlier, these days I'm really into criminal documentaries, so I sometimes stay up late watching them on Netflix. I also like to watch K-dramas sometimes, like Don't Panic or The Glory, Fame, and so on. Well, I love K-dramas because they're just so much fun. Time flies by when I watch them. What does it feel like the next morning if you stay up late? Well, obviously, I wake up tired in the morning, and sometimes I even feel dizzy. So I try not to stay up late, especially during the week, because, I don't want to screw up at work. Does your name have any special meaning? Yes, my grandpa named it, which is based on Chinese characters. Zhang means uprightness, and Yan refers to lotus flowers. So combined, it means a person who is honest and beautiful, like a lotus flower. How would you choose names for your next generation? Well, to be honest, I haven't thought about it before. Okay, let me think. I guess I would like to look for some cool names in the movies. I watch movies very often, like more than 3 times a week, and there are always some characters with great names. So I will pick the best one in the movies. Are there any differences between how Koreans name their children now and in the past? Yes, it has changed quite a bit. In the past, like my grandpa, people used to consider the meaning of names more, but now many parents think about how the name sounds. They prefer some cool, trendy names for their kids. Describe a time when you saw a lot of plastic waste. Okay, let me tell you about the time I saw a lot of plastic waste on the beach in Bali. When I was 12, I traveled abroad for the first time on a family vacation to Bali. Well, of course, I could barely contain myself since it was the very first time flying on a plane and going to the foreign country. And if I were to pick my favorite moment in Bali, it would be the time we had fun on the beautiful beach. Well, I forgot the name of the beach, but I remember how picturesque it was. With emerald water, golden sand, and impressive surfers riding the waves. We felt like we were in some kind of heaven, you know? But, however, when we were on the way back to the hotel, we saw a huge pile of plastic waste on the beach. Well, we were shocked by how much was there. It was probably from the tourists like us, who visited this beautiful beach. What a shame, I know. Well, the image was so overwhelming. On the one side, picturesque beach with people laying in the sun. On the other side, a huge pile of waste. So after I saw that, I swear I never littered. Anyway, so that was the time I saw a lot of plastic waste on the beach. Do you think we should use plastic products? Well, in my opinion, it is inevitable to use plastic products these days. Although plastic products have a negative impact on the environment, they also have many benefits, such as being inexpensive, lightweight, and easy to shape. Therefore, it's kind of impossible to completely stop using all the plastic products, But I strongly believe that we need to make efforts to reduce plastic uses for the sake of the environment. How can we reduce our use of plastic? There are a lot of ways to reduce the use of plastic. Firstly, we can purchase products from environmentally friendly companies that use recyclable packaging and, take part in initiatives that help protect the planet. Moreover, we can also start with small changes, such as bringing our own reusable bags when grocery shopping. What kind of plastic waste are often seen in your country? All right. That's an interesting question. Well, I see all kinds of plastic waste here. As you know, plastic is used for so many things. But I guess I remember walking on the street with many pubs and clubs, and I noticed many plastic water bottles and takeout containers littering the area. Why do people like to use plastic products? Well, I don't think people love to use plastic products. It's just that plastic products are everywhere. It's inevitable to use them. Well, as I said earlier, plastic products have lots of benefits like being inexpensive and lightweight and so on. So, plastic is used for so many things, including single use plastic bags, water bottles, and cups, and more. But however, I know that we should be aware of their negative impact on the environment and try to reduce their use.